Hey everyone, I'm Clue. Welcome back to our data pack project. Now, we've got a bunch of stuff in my inventory. Well, don't worry about that. No, that'll be for next time. So, what are we doing today? Well, we're going to go through how to make custom items from scratch, because I've been asked to, right? So we'll go through the entire process of obviously making the art, setting up the custom models, and then giving it a effect through functions, right? So, where to begin? Well, not in Minecraft, no. We need to begin in our files. Right, so in your versions, in your .minecraft, usually located in your user folder, you will have your .jar. Now you can extract this or open it as an archive. If you click on it, right click, 7-zip is what I'm using, WinRAR, I think they're the two big ones, right? Open archive, and in here we have all the folders used to make Minecraft. This is really useful because you want the assets folder, so you can pick apart the models, you can pick apart the textures. It's what I do. I use all the ones built into Minecraft as the base. So for instance, if I want to make a new sword, I'll use the sword as the base model. Something more complex, say like the fishing rod, well, I can use the two models for the fishing rod, the casting fishing rod and the normal fishing rod, to actually create the two different models needed for that. Okay, so then what? Well, we're going to tackle bundles. So I do need to come up with two special bundles for the completion of the attribute mechanics in-game, right? So we have attributes available through armor trimming and then attributes available through armor tinkering. And now the last step I want to include is the use of bundles to actually have as sort of like gem pouches, right? So if you can stack up to 64 items. So if you have 64 items that correspond to X attribute, you'll get a bonus for that attribute. I think that's a cool idea, right? So we'll be making the two bundles today. So yeah, so we start with the basis, okay? So bundle in the Minecraft data. So we have bundle.json, it's both the crafting recipe and the model, depending where you look. So for instance, this one says model. And then of course we have the actual PNGs, which I have taken and used in my platform of choice, which is GIMP, right? I use this as my art editor, if you will. You can use Paint, you can use Adobe. What other big Paint programs are there? Either way, there's tons to use for Minecraft. Blockbench, right, is a good one. And then Pixel, I think is what it's called, which is just set up to do pixel artwork for Minecraft. But I have the most experience with GIMP, so I'm using GIMP. And we have our bundle, right? And then we have our other bundle. I've gone ahead and I've separated the string from the actual art file, right? So I can edit the base. I could probably just colorize, not make it too fancy. I don't know. I'll play around with it. I'll come up with the art and then we'll go through the next steps. Right, so I actually ended up coming up with 3 items. So we have some ancient leather, right, which then goes into the ancient bundle. So that's open, closed. And then we have a enchanted bundle. So this is just the normal bundle along with the world fragments. If you've seen the art for that, essentially just reinforcing the bag. So in other words, this bundle would be one that the player can craft, and then this bundle would be one that the player has to find, say, all of the rabbit hide in order to make. So we have our images. What next? Well, we need to first export them. So if we go export as, we need to go find our actual save. This is the Minecraft save, so that's not going to work. I believe it's in not storage. That was the wrong one to click. Games, program files, Minecraft snapshot, because I've been making it since the snapshot. Oh, that's the wrong data pack. Runechant, assets, Minecraft, textures, and then items. And then in here you can have any subfolders that you want. I'm just going to stick all of these in MISC, since these are some of the MISC items. So we said ancient_leather. Right, so that's item 1, or at least the image for item 1. And then we need to do the bundle filled, and bundle. So we will just call this ancient bundle. So ancient, and then change this to bundle. And then the other one will be ancient bundle filled. That way it's easy enough to call upon. I just have to change or add the prefix ancient to it. So this is filled. And then we have enchanted bundle, which I probably will refer to as a satchel in game, because I like the word satchel a bit more. But in terms of the imaging, we'll just call it a bundle, since it is a bundle. Same with the actual other one, right? Ancient bundle versus ancient satchel. I feel like satchel is just a nicer RPG sounding word. So enchanted bundle is the enchanted satchel, right? And then enchanted bundle underscore filled. That's all the images set up. Now we can go ahead and actually assign them as custom model data to the original items. Right, so again, we're using the Minecraft data as our base. So I'm going to go ahead and search for the bundle documents. So I can go ahead and steal the models. Right, so we'll just copy that over into our resource pack. And we want to go to models, items, and then we need to add 3, essentially. Well, 2 for each item, but 3 in the case of bundles, because we have 2 different bundles. So we need to add it here to the main area, right? So this is the normal bundle. And then we also need bundle filled, since that is the other model. But in that case, we don't actually have to tie back to it. I'll show you what I mean once we go through and start assigning the custom model data. But for Runechant, we need to go to MISC, where it is, and add these in again, right? So we have to define the new bundle, if you will. In fact, we need to get rid of the override as well, because this is where it gets a bit complicated. I was wrong. We don't need 2. We actually need 4. We need a bundle, and then we need a bundle filled per image. So we have 2 sets or 4 images in total. So we need all 4. So we can delete the override, make sure we get all the brackets square to square. Perfect. Save it. And then duplicate it 4 times, right? And I'll fix up the names. So I've just made them uniform with everything else. So we got ancient bundle filled, enchanted bundle filled. Now we just have to set the layer 0 to the actual item. So we need to go find where it is in the resource pack. So in my case, it's an item, MISC, and then all our bundles. So if we change this to Minecraft.item, since my resource pack, I just have the folder renamed as Minecraft. I know I'm very lazy, but at this point, it's too late to change it. If you set this internal folder to something, so for instance, I should have set this to Runechant in all actuality, right? I should have a Minecraft that changes my assets, and then a Runechant one that changes my specific assets, right? It's sort of causes incompatibility issues with anyone else who has done the same thing as I, right? And being a little bit lazy. But too late now, right? So Minecraft, item, and then MISC, so slash MISC, slash, and then whatever the PNGs are named. So we have ancient bundle. Again, I can just copy over whatever they're called. So for instance, this one is the enchanted bundle filled. So we just type in enchanted underscore bundle underscore filled, right? And this is the model setup for in-game use. And I'll go ahead and do that for the other 4. Slight correction, you don't have to add in the base folder, the parent folder, right? So Minecraft ... It finds automatically if they're in the same resource area, right? So again, if this was named Runechant, it would be fine. If this was named Minecraft, this would be fine. I'm just using the Minecraft subname because I do replace a lot of the base Minecraft files. Right, so with all 4 models now set up, we can close everything, make sure to save them. Save, perfect. So they're all set up. Now we can go back to that other bundle, so just in the item folder, right? So all these ones replace the base Minecraft item. So for instance, bone replaces the Minecraft bone and then ties the custom model data to my models inside Runechant. So if we go and we find bundle, which should be at B, which should have been right under bone. Yep, there we go. This is where we need to start making it a bit more complex, right? We have to add in more of these overrides, but not only that, sorry, we need to add in the custom model data override along with this filled predicate. Usually this is what it would end up looking like. So we have our predicate, custom model data. So if the custom model data in the NBT is set to 1997.1, then it will use this new model and it would give priority to the highest one, right? So for 1997.1, it would use the enchanted bundle filled model rather than the normal enchanted bundle. So what we now have to do is add in a second predicate, which is nice and easy because all you have to do is copy it over, right? So you can add a comma and you can have a second check. So if it has the custom model data along with filled, then it will use this new model, which I've actually done this backwards. So we're going to Control X and we need to paste that there. And same with the 1997.2, right? So when it's just 1997.2 but not filled, it'll use ancient bundle. But when it has that custom model data and is filled, it will now use the ancient bundle filled model data. The original predicate needs to go first because again, it gives priority. So you want this to be the latest in the list, right? So if this was last, then anytime it meets this predicate, it would automatically use just a normal bundle filled rather than these. Now, this is going to a different directory, so I do have to type in Minecraft, I believe. Right, that's usually what I've done for everything else. Yeah, Minecraft item, fishing rod, and yada yada. Okay, so it should be fine. So if we go ahead and save, that should be everything we need to do in terms of the texture pack, right? So if we go F3T, and we give ourselves a bundle, fingers crossed, I've done everything correct. Add all, bundle, add in the custom model data, 1997 1. Look at that. Though it's not enchanted, so it doesn't look quite as nice as what it would look. But the important thing, we close it. How do you close a bundle? I put stuff in it. You fill it fully? I think you fill it fully. Right? Yeah, there we go. You fill it any and it closes? Ooh, yes. Okay. And look at that. It looks fine. Alright, right model. We go for the ancient one. Perfect. It's that dark leather. Sort of. Is it just me, or is it missing the color scheme from the bottom half? That one's a bit more apparent, especially because the little eye is missing. Essentially, again, any of the previous items I've made that will factor into these new items, I have just tried to tie them over, right? So for instance, we have the ancient eye, that's that bottom image, and now I've just darkened the leather, and then on this one, it's the World Fragments enchantment. But perfect, they work. Now, in terms of the ancient bundle, right? It's not very apparent on that, and at the same time, it's too apparent on this one, right? The little hole. Yeah, am I going to change it? Probably not. The fact that it's just a darker bundle is fine with me, and then we'll end up enchanting them anyway when we give them to the player, right? Just so they have the glow effect, so it should be a bit better. And then we can also see more of the leather going through. Okay, perfect. So I'm going to set up the leather, and then we'll probably just round this out with how to set up crafting, right? Because, for instance, again, I want the ancient leather to be able to craft into this bundle, and I want the world fragments to be able to craft into this bundle. So hopefully that looks a bit better. I've made it a bit more apparent, right? And then on the sealed, it's definitely more apparent. But the last thing we've got to do is crafting. So these are the ideas I had in mind. So for the enchanted satchel, right, you just need a bundle and 64 world fragments enchantment. And then for the ancient variant, well, it gets a bit more complicated. You need 64 of the leather, the special leather that we've come up with, a shard of power, and this will be an ancient eye, I think is what I will end up going with in terms of a name, right? For now, it's just a enchanted golden apple. So you can't eat it, you can't gain the buffs, right? Looks pretty wonky eating the eye, right? Still, powerful. Okay, so how do we actually implement these effects? Well, not effects, but these crafting, right? Doesn't matter, I don't need them. Because no, in fact, that was the wrong clear. I was trying to clear my potions. Right, so we just have to go back to the data. Ooh, which one? Nope, new tab, Runechant, data pack, Runechant, functions. And for me, I'm just going to add it to my 3-second drop crafting crucible, because that's what this is, right? So what do we have so far? We have greater runes, upgrades. I'll probably end up making a new one there and calling it drop crafting crucible items, I think. So any just generic item crafting mechanisms that need to be done in the crucible can be done that way. Yeah, I think that's fine. Right. How do we actually make the crafting? Well, obviously I've got the pre-built here from all the other ones, so I can just end up using that, but where's the fun in that? We'll start from scratch, right? So we'll delete it all, and all we have to do is search for the blocks around the item, right? Search for the item we're dropping, which in this case would be probably the leather or the bundle, or, well, actually, world fragments or the bundle? Probably the bundle for the other one, right? So let me type out some starting stuff, right? And then we'll go through it. So this is the basis of all my crafting mechanisms. Okay, so execute at the primary item, and then if there's blocks around them that match our prerequisites, then if there's another item or however many items, right, you can just duplicate this as much as you want, and all you have to do is fill in the item data for the actual item you're looking for. So in the case of all the custom stuff we've made, I can just look for custom model data on the base item. So for instance, we do ID, quotes, Minecraft, and then we are retexturing leather, right? Well, actually, leather will be the main thing. Echo shard, that's the shard of power. Echo shard, and then we go tag, and then we go custom model data, and whatever the number is. So 1997. I feel like it's 6 for the Echo Shard. Oh, I've got the 7. 7, 6. Right. So I'll look for whatever the base item is. In this case would be the leather. So we can copy that over and just tweak it. And we brackets. Just one set. Perfect. Okay, so this one instead would be that leather. and we'd look for custom model data 1997-1, and we do also want the count, right? Because we want the player to have to use a full stack. So using the count, you can specify how many items are needed for the recipe. Then in terms of the block, you just have to map out whatever your multi-block structure is. So since I'm using that one, I'm just going to pull it from the other ones. So we have if block crying obsidian. There's quite a lot of blocks that make up this multi-block structure, right? And then all the way to the if entity. Copy that and just paste it instead of that. Perfect. Okay. So again, we're looking for that catalyst item using as and at, right? So once we specify it as the entity, then we can use s, and then if the blocks around them match the multi-block structure, and then any other secondary items that we need to craft with, right? So in this case, we're looking for an echo shard, the shard of power, and then we'd also be looking for the enchanted golden apple, which I'm going to mess up, so let me just have a look. Right, was it actually? Enchanted golden apple. So many times I just type gold. So we do enchanted underscore golden underscore apple, which should definitely be the first model for that, because I haven't actually done it. And we can count out the X shards. So for instance, X shard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I was one off. It's fine. Right, so if all these items are in that crucible, then we can have it run X effect, in which case it would be to summon an item, in this case bundles, with the custom model data 1997-2, and then clean up the other items. So do some, what's called, particles, play sounds, and then use the /kill command targeting items. So let me set up in full, and then we'll explain a bit, and then we'll show it off. Decided to go with something else, right, because it's ancient. So essentially, these are all the multi-block structures I want to end up using. We've already used the furnace, the grind station, this little wax refinery, the potion pots, boiling cauldron, whatever you want to call it, Chantis crucible. But I still haven't touched these two. So we're going to use this one, this shulk tower, to do crafting. I don't know what the other one. I just like the amethyst colors. Okay, so we've gone ahead and we've adjusted it. Right, so we've got the blocks, so the shulk tower, shulk trigger, etc. And we have our summon item. We have our play sound, our particle, and then our cleanup via kill. So it kills all the items within one block that aren't the bundle that we're going to create. Right. So the great thing about this is because we're using the custom model data, I don't have to worry about, searching for X name on an item or typing out, giant strings of information. All I have to really do in terms of adjustment is add the lore tags and the name tag to this bundle, which I'll do eventually once I actually come up with how it's going to functionally work. Okay. So we can save this. Exit that one, and then all we have to do is set up to actually work. So, where are you? Crucible, shulk tower, there we go. Copy that over, find my 3-second activator, so this activates, and we just have to add this to the mechanisms. Right, so run function, and this way I just have them all split up over 3 seconds so it doesn't cause too much lag. We just add this to 14, save, and it should be right to go, hopefully, if I've done everything correctly. Right, so should require us to have a full stack of leather. I will also just double these up in case I mess up. Okay. Leather. Oh, I didn't toss it out. I didn't hit. Always happens. And the sound is also very quiet. Why is the sound very quiet? That was on 25. But usually the tower shrieks a bit more. Okay, so leather. Echo shard. And 3 seconds. No. Bad. Okay. Hopefully, it's just because I wrote something out in the function wrong. Runechant, 3 seconds. Drop crafting. Yes, perfect. It's not there. Right. Troubleshooting. We can go over how to troubleshoot. So the simplest thing I do is I just plop down a command block, right? Open up the file. So in this case, the tower. And then I just copy and paste. There's a space where there shouldn't be a space, right? So me double clicking should highlight everything. That is wrong, which means these are all wrong too. And this one. Right, save it. Save and quit. And hopefully that was all that was wrong. I should have actually double checked them while I was there. Function, Runechant 3S. What did I spell wrong? Runechant 3S. Come on, shulk tower, perfect. Right, let's try crafting again. Leather, on, tinted apple, shard of power. Poof. Except for the bundle. The bundle did not summon. Everything else worked. Let's just try the command by itself. I probably messed this up, didn't I? Summon item, ID, Minecraft. Yeah. There's no count. 1B. Right, so the count defaults to 0. Luckily, I saved all the items, because I knew I'd messed up. Leather, eye, shard. Leather, drop the eye, drop the shard. Poof. There we go, and we get our ancient bundle. Not named, not functional, but the crafting works. Right. Good. So I think we'll leave it there. Functionality, haven't quite touched on. I will in the future. I still have to do all the artwork for all the other trimmables, right? So I've only done trimming for swords, axes, pickaxes, hoes, fishing rods, yada yada, the melee weapons, but I haven't actually touched the trident or any of the ranged weapons. They're functionally trimmable, and you can still get all these stat bonuses from them, but I haven't actually done the multitude of art necessary, right? I have to come up with 34 different versions. Not only that, it has to be 34 versions. No, not 34, 24. 24 plus 8, 32. There we go, got there in the end. No, plus 3. 35. Okay, it was one more than I was thinking. I have to come up with 35 variations, and then, for instance, the crossbow, I have to come up with 35 times 4, because there are 4 different states of the crossbow. So annoying, right? Because you can pull back to have it all work functionally. I need all the different images to use, and then the crossbow in itself is more annoying because it has a image section for an arrow and then image section for a fireball. What are they called? Fireworks. Got there in the end. Alright, so I have to come up with a lot. Then don't get me started on trying to make the shield work, because I have no idea how to do that without actually making the model from scratch, which I'd much rather just use an overlay. Anyway, ancient satchel, sort of. Half there. Alright, I'll work on the functionality and then I'll have something to show off at least. Hope you enjoyed. Yeah.